So as I'm looking up information about Drake and the parties that Diddy had, and if Drake was going to these parties, there was some interesting information that came across my table here. And it all goes back to this actor. Yes, Cuba Gooding Jr., for those of you who don't know, he's a famous actor who has one of the most iconic movie roles, one of them being Boys in the Hood. Another movie is being Radio, just to name a few, right? And his wife, I'm not sure if they're currently married right now, but I know that this is a person that he was in a relationship with, is or was. But before we get to that, let me just refresh everybody on why this is important. Now, those of you who don't know, Diddy was being a part of a lawsuit with this producer named Lil Rod. Lil Rod accused Cuba Gooding Jr. of SA, and Lil Rod had expressed in detail the awkward experience that he had with Cuba Gooding Jr. that made him feel uncomfortable, for a lack of better words, right? And as you can see, this is Lil Rod, the producer, with Cuba Gooding Jr. And I had to show you this just to let y'all know the history. Y'all can pause this and read it if you want. Of the reason why Cuba Gooding Jr. has been brought up in this lawsuit with P. Diddy and Lil Rod because of all the accusations that Lil Rod said that he had seen, right? Allegedly, right? Cuba Gooding Jr. has been one of these celebrities, has came out and talked about being at Diddy's parties, has talked about the people that he would see at Diddy's parties. And one in particular person that he would see at the parties was Drake. Yes, he would see Drake at the P. Diddy parties. Now, what Lil Rod is accusing Cuba Gooding Jr. of is insane, as well as everything that he's accused P. Diddy of. To know that Cuba Gooding Jr. has admitted that he's seen Drake at these parties. Now we get to talk about Cuba Gooding Jr.'s girlfriend. Now, Gooding had met his girlfriend, and her name is Claudine. We got a picture of her right here. That's Claudine and Cuba Gooding Jr., right? Gooding said that he met Diddy through his girlfriend, Claudine, who has experience in the publicity industry, also working for Naomi Campbell. They had a friendship for years, but had never met him until around 2019, 2020. Gooding explained the origins of a photo of him with his arm around Jones that would include, and Jones's Lil Rod, that was included in the February lawsuit. As he said, it was intended to make him look sordid. Gooding said that he wound up in close proximity to Jones, Lil Rod, as he was partying with other celebrities on a series of yachts on New Year's Eve in St. Bart's in Ring of 2023. I went from one ship, Happy New Year, Gooding said, so I hung out with Tyson. Next ship, there's Drake. So there's, I don't know what he's saying, two ships. This ship had Diddy. He had his guy, his videographer. They're listening to music. He says, hey, Cuba, you want to hear P. Diddy's new song? I said, yeah, sure. Sit down next to him. So apparently, when he's talking about this moment right here, he's talking about a time where he was on a ship. I went from one ship, Happy New Year, Gooding said. So I hung out with Tyson. Next ship, there's Drake. And if you could read right here, it says, Jones claimed, which is Lil Rod, claimed Diddy introduced him to Cuba Gooding Jr. on Diddy's yacht. So he meets Cuba Gooding Jr. on Diddy's yacht. And when Cuba Gooding Jr. says another ship, he's talking about Drake's yacht. So they're on one yacht and Drake's on another yacht. I'm assuming they're like, what, riding the boats together? I guess that's what rich people do, is that they tailgate each other with their yachts. You know what I mean? I'm assuming it's like two parties on two boats. That's crazy. And then it says here, Mr. Jones, Lil Rod, it says, oh, on Diddy's yacht, and Cuba Gooding Jr. allegedly began doing all kinds of uncomfortable things that Lil Rod accused Cuba Gooding Jr. of on Diddy's yacht, and Cuba getting in his personal space, and Lil Rod was accusing him of all of this. Pause it if you want, right? So now we have to go to the next thing. And what is the next thing? Let me show you. Remember, they talked about the realtor, right? The realtor is Cuba's girlfriend. That same woman, Cuba Gooding's girlfriend, is helping Drake with real estate. So now there's a connection between Cuba Gooding Jr., P. Diddy, Lil Rod, and Drake through Cuba Gooding's girlfriend, who also has ties to Drake as being his real estate agent. Now it says here that Drake is apparently looking for property in Miami. Drake is leaning on Cuba Gooding Jr.'s girlfriend, Claudine De Niro, to secure his next pad. We hear a source told Page Six the Canadian-born trust issues hitmaker has been having real estate conversations with De Niro about finding property in Miami, Florida. This is in, I believe, 2023. Now, remember, he had just sold his property in California last year. So it would make sense if he's looking for another place to stay. Mind you, he's in Texas now, so he probably didn't fall through with this. But it doesn't mean that there wasn't a story about this conversation happening. Drake and De Niro, Oscar-winning boyfriend, seemingly confirmed she's his real estate agent. At a party during one of his concert stops in Chicago over the weekend, Drake referred to De Niro as my real estate agent in a video posted on Instagram. And if it wasn't clearer, Gooding Jr. even had him repeat it. So not only did Drake post her on Instagram and say that this is my real estate agent, Cuba Gooding Jr. made sure and made him repeat what he had just said. Drake, what did you call Claudine De Niro just now? He asked. And he said, my real estate agent. Drake confirmed that Cuba Gooding Jr.'s girlfriend, Claudine De Niro, pictured with Fabian Basabi, is his real estate agent. I said, she's my real estate agent. That's what Drake said. She was looking into some things for me. The rapper replied giddily. De Niro isn't new to the real estate game. She worked alongside her ex-husband, Raphael, and helped him develop the De Niro Group and Douglas Elliman before they tied the knot in 2008. The former couple has since divorced, and she has moved on with Gooding, as well as real estate agency Compass in New York, we're told. And this is a picture that they said Drake caught up with Cuba Gooding Jr. at an after party during Chicago's tour stop. She is also licensed in Florida, where she's an associate broker for Deezer Platinum Reality. In fact, we're told the longtime New Yorker has fled the Big Apple and now full-time resident in Miami. Perhaps Drake will look to rent her a Tribeca loft that she recently put on the market. A rep for the rapper and De Niro would not comment. So there's no comments from Drake or De Niro's teams in regards to this, but him putting her on Instagram and Cuba Gooding Jr. asking him to repeat himself obviously shows that she was Drake's real estate agent. I'm not sure if she is now, but I say all of this to say that Cuba Gooding Jr. has openly admitted that he has a relationship with Drake. Not only that, but his girlfriend is also his real estate agent. And at the time when the Little Rod situation happened, it was on the yacht. And during that time on the yacht where this had happened, there was another yacht following them. And it appeared to be Drake's yacht. This is a statement by Cuba Gooding Jr. himself. I went from one ship, Happy New Year, Gooding said, so I hung out with Tyson. Next ship, there's Drake. So I guess Drake's yacht was tailgating P. Diddy's yacht. But remember, Cuba Gooding Jr. was with Lil Rod on P. Diddy's yacht. But where they're having this escapade, this is where Lil Rod's situation with Cuba begun. And now we know for a fact, in Cuba Gooding's words, not mine, that Drake was tailgating P. Diddy's yacht with his yacht, from the story that he had shared here when he started addressing everything with Lil Rod in an article. So not only do we know that Drake goes to P. Diddy's parties, we know from Cuba Gooding Jr., allegedly, right, that Drake tailgates Diddy's yacht with his yacht. I guess, bro. But now it's getting a little sticky. Now it looks very, very strange that Drake is being put in the same place by Cuba Gooding Jr., who's being accused of something totally crazy by Lil Rod. And Lil Rod is the spark of everything. He's kind of the one that started suing Diddy. And I mean, this is after Cassie, right? But he started suing Diddy, and all these crazy stories started coming out about Meek Mill and Cuba and like all these things, right? And now he's saying that Drake's ship was following Diddy's ship. So not only is there another celebrity out here saying that Drake was attending these parties, it also put Drake at the same time where Cuba Gooding Jr. was accused of being uncomfortable with Lil Rod, or making Lil Rod feel uncomfortable around the same time. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about this, bro. This is crazy. I honestly don't know what to make of it just yet. I'm just learning about this as I'm going along. So I don't think it's good, though. I don't think that it is good that Cuba Gooding Jr. was accused of Lil Rod for doing something crazy, and then he does it on P. Diddy's boat. And Cuba Gooding Jr. saying that Drake is tailgating that same boat. I don't know, man. Y'all tell me how y'all feel. We'll keep it alleged for now. All alleged. All alleged. All alleged. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video, bro. Peace.